Alright, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. We are finishing up Darren's 68 Barracuda hardtop. Been getting a little bit of transformation here. I got my front end stuff done last time. Fender chrome on. These wheels are just bolted on with some adapters. He's going to do that later. I told you that. Painted inside there again. Got it nice. I had quit on this side's windows. Quarter glasses and stuff. I didn't have to pull the windows out of this car. That was Darren's main goal, was to keep the windows in the car, just paint around them, whatever I need to do. They're all in perfect adjustment. They work well. They're lubed. All that's good. Right now I left my door handles off because I want to do my exterior buffing, I think. Before I get those on, then they're in the way, all that jazz. So yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing forward today. I've got the other side of this done. Let me show you that. There it is. And everything looks great. I got my foam in between here. One thing I haven't done, I did not polish this piece yet, or these two. And someone, I think it was asking about how did I polish. So I can show you that. I did get this polished before it went on. There's a little stuff I need to wipe off there. Clean the glasses, scrape the glasses, all the overspray off that stuff. But I mean, currently it looks pretty good, but you can see those fine scratches in there. So we're going to work on getting some of that out in just a few minutes. We're not, I'm not pouring an hour into that or anything. It's a pretty quick deal. Let me show you what I have. This is a simple buffer wheel from Harbor Freight on my drill. I don't even think the drill spins that fast. I believe this stuff is jeweler's rouge or some kind of metal polishing rouge. It's pretty, I don't know what year it is. It's pretty stout stuff. But all I'm going to do is take my brush and load it just like that. You can see where it started to smear my compound. I've buffed chrome before. I want to say with some polish, just like Perfect It. Well, this is rubbing compound, but with the polished version of that. And it was accidental. I was trying to buff a car and it hit the chrome, and I said, wow, that chrome looked so much better. This is what I'm doing here. I got my glasses on, and I'm going to stay off of the paint. Let's run her up down some. Let me start bringing back some luster. Alright. And I'll wipe it off with a rag, but see my little scratches are going sideways now. When I take my fine cloth, I'll wipe that and she'll be good to go. So that's a quick and simple way. You could use, I know a very popular one on YouTube is Summer Shine. So y'all check out Summer Shine if you haven't. That dude is legit. And he sells his own polish. I'd like to get some of that. But yeah, this is going to look nice here in just a few minutes. I'll run over my 3 pieces and I'll show you how I'm going to polish this drip rail molding next. Here's a piece of the drip rail. It's got a little overspray. It has old red overspray from the last paint job, etc. I'm going to very lightly with my wire wheel touch those edges where that is. It'll knock it off pretty quick. I'm not going to wire wheel any of the outer edge of this. So this is the old buffing wheel. I think that's even an old lug nut. Doesn't matter. It's a good polishing pad. It used to be much larger, but as you use it more, it gets smaller and it works faster. While I'm polishing this, I'm going to hold it like that the entire time. If I try to feed it like this, and I want to do that edge, it would rip the thing out of my hand and twist it into a pretzel. So I'll probably do this face, come all the way down, flip it over, and then do that face. But I got to load it with my rouge just like I did previously. Here's where I stop. I'll wipe that off for you and you can see it. Hopefully you can see this. How hazy and nasty that one looks. And we're getting shinier over here. So once all this is done, I can come back with like the summer shine or something and run over it good. There's different levels of this rouge, and it just like everything else, it has different cutting ability. So I'm working on getting all these funky scratches out first. That one popped on fairly easily, and it had a little piece of it's almost like a little fine foam or something behind it from the factory. These have never been off until I took them off. So here'll be piece number 2, and we'll just kind of find our groove. Start on the top. Fairly hard to move it after it's in place. I can leave that there. There's a corner piece, and I wanted to check to be sure I was in the ballpark. When that pops on there, that it'll cover that edge and that edge. And this one is up as high as it'll go. Looking nice. Booyah! I don't know how clear that was to see, but pulling down hard on the top. If I can hold down my left hand and just use my palm to pop and walk it down. I got a little more rouge there to wipe off, see? And kind of like putting on a tire or whatever else. You got to have that leading edge started somewhat before you can come by and pop, 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 pop. We got chrome now, and Darren bought me some new, we have some new corner pieces to pop on next. So I got my chromes on here, and you'll notice I've started playing with runs now because I was getting to the point of if I pop this trim on and do everything and something needs to be resprayed, which I pray it doesn't, it's going to be a pain in the butt. So before I touched that run, I came back and knocked that dude off. And she's gone. Only 2,000 grit and then 3,000 grit. Boom, done. I'm going to practice buffing here because that piece of trim covers that up anyway. So nice little practice spot there. I've been having a barrel of sanding fun here. I hit this cowl panel and I did buff it once. It needs a little more love, but I think I got 99% of my sanding scratches out. I had a bug here. When I pulled my tape, it landed there. So I got that sanded. It's got a nice finish to it. Just a few little minor scratches left still, but kind of Darren and I have agreed that I'm going to take the trash out. I'm going to try to leave majority of the orange peel. He said he can get it cut later if he wants to, but he really wants a driver. We've been talking about that 100 times. I got to get a little trash like this out. So I want to do that door top there. This was my big hairy run here that was really scary to get out. And I had another one there, so here and there. And you can just faintly see the edge of that one left. And I didn't want to cut through that and have a bad day. There's my chrome trim. Wipe that off. So yeah, I went ahead and did it. Buffed back through here. I had another, just a big sag right there, and she's gone. So that's nice. I kind of started on this side, just searching through. If I saw a little piece of trash, I would stop and hit that piece of trash with 2,000 then wipe it off, and then do a 3,000 section of it. And I had 3 or 4 through here. But after that, I went ahead and buffed that half of the quarter. So that's done. My plan for the rest of the day is go ahead and do this door top, find my little spots in the door. I knew there's a few little try it like that, if we can find it. So get those fixed up and go ahead and buff that top, fender top, the door, and this fender. And this side will basically be done. And that's what I like to hear, is stuff's getting done. I just kind of I wanted to start and do that before I put this windshield trim on to clean this all up, because if I somehow had a cut through here, there'd be no need to have the trim back on if I'm going to have to repaint or respray something. So that's a big load off my mind, is that dude and those 2 there. So life is good. Those are my biggest runs on the entire car. Yeah, pushing onward. While I'm doing rubbers and such, I had Darren send me these new, because his were pretty crispy here. And that one's, I guess, shrank up and doesn't even fill the gap anymore. So let me pop it in. It's a pretty simple process. And the ones he bought are extra long. And I've got the other side done already. It has this kind of a blocker end on it here. I tried it on the other side, as in putting it at the top. I know the rubber would orient that way, but it doesn't match up to the factory rubber. The other side was pretty close, so I didn't even use it. You can say what you want to about me, but I ended up cutting the top one to fit that correct angle. And then at the bottom, there's also another angle just below the door frame here, door edge, whatever you want to call it. There we go. If you want to see kind of what the factory little angle was there it is. So all I did was just match up to it and make it the full length up here and cut mine that way. I don't think anyone will ever know, and it'll actually fit the rubber better than. I basically just fed the felt side in, and I took my little Harbor Freight bone and I just shoved, went down, shoved, and now once the door closes, it'll push that nice and tight against it. But I would rather it be a little proud out this way versus the opposite way to get a little nicer seal. So let's see how our door closes and looks. Gap's closed. Can y'all see any daylight between there? I don't think so. Nice even line all the way up and down. Was able to go ahead and get the new bearings, green bearings, pushed on the axles, so I can get those slid in. He's going big bolt pattern, so we got to figure this out, whether the center of that drum fits the new axles. Also, if I can mark and drill these other holes as larger. I'm gonna check that out now too, but I think it's wet sand and buff day. The trim is in, and we marked every one of these clips and put tape, but not so close that it would get trapped in there like the front windshield did. And now we can peel the tape off, and the trim is there, and we're happy about it. Also, the car's buffed, so come back next time to see everything else get finished and it go outside. And there it is, with the trim on in the front. Everything looks wonderful there. And I just staged our back wheels so you can kind of see down the side what we're going for. I got plenty more left to do, but I hope y'all come back for that one. All right, Mopar people.